Here we are again in Foxy Garden's garden. Here's Bob doing his thing today. What are you up to today, Bob?
Well, it's such nice weather, and it's not quite the middle of May here in Zone 5, Cambridge, Ontario, an hour west of Toronto. But the climate is changing, and it's getting warmer quicker here, and so today is 21 degrees. So I have all my house plants in the house that come out usually around the May 24th weekend, and they live in the yard until the frost comes, which is late October. And they love it out here, but they can't handle anything probably below 10 degrees Celsius. So anyway, one of those plants is a Norfolk Pine. This is a Norfolk Pine.
Okay.
Okay, and of course it's not indigenous to this area, so it's considered a house plant. It doesn't like cold weather. It'll get very, very tall. But if you look at the size of this one, I've had it for 20 years. It was just a little baby. I don't want it to be harmed in any way. And I always like to put it in the yard in the shade because it doesn't really like a lot of sun.
Yep.
And this is my best bet this year. So I'm creating a new triangular corner garden here. If you back up, you'll see my pea gravel.
Yeah, I see.
And it shows the pea gravel how it curves around. It comes from the pathway from the front and then curves right around the back. And I used to have pea gravel in the corner here where I'm working, but I decided to cut it off right here and make a triangular shade garden.
Yep.
And we've got these cedar trees that go along the boundary here that I planted about 35 years ago. And I wasn't too into gardening in those days, so I just planted them on the property line, and they're not exactly in a straight line. And then I was trying to make a hedge out of them by cutting the top off so the bottoms would get fuller. And then I gave up because I had to climb on these tall ladders, and I just gave up.
Yeah.
So this is, if you back up and just show the whole cedar property line trees, you'll see they're pretty sparse at the bottom and kind of shaggy and a little bit thicker near the top.
Yep.
That's just the way they grow, and they don't always look the best. Some people don't like them because they just don't look pristine enough, or whatever the word is. But the birds love them.
Yeah.
And
Squirrels love
they're
them.
a healthy tree for the environment, the air, so that's why they're there. But so I decided to put the Norfolk Pine here. These shaggy cedars were over top of it, so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It's all about design, you know. So I chopped off some of the deader branches of the cedar trees, and I'm trying to highlight this Norfolk Pine. So it's in a nice pot and everything else, and it's very, the pot's very heavy, but in a good windstorm, it'll blow the whole thing over. So I have to now put some kind of a stake behind it in the ground and tie it up, or tie it to the fence, or tie it to the trees.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to look too, ordinary. I want it to look pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
And I better take my Christmas lights out of it. And some of
Yeah.
the funny little birds I got hanging in it.
What's that thing at the top of it that's sort of hanging there like a battery?
Yeah, that's the battery for the Christmas lights.
Oh.
It's coming out.
So Norfolk is like Norfolk, Virginia?
Yeah, like Norfolk, that's the word. Norfolk Pine. It's just not indigenous to this part of the world because it's too cold here half the year.
So it couldn't survive the winter.
Oh, no.
But it can survive the summer.
Oh, yes, as long as it doesn't go below 10 degrees Celsius.
And you're not going to plant it in the ground. It's just going to sit in the pot.
It's sitting in a pot because at the end of the summer, fall, we take the dirt out and clean it all, make sure it's perfect, and then we put new soil in the pot and wash the pot. Because, you get insects outside that are normally not inside.
Yeah.
And they could infect the tree, and I don't want it infected.
Right, so it's going to reside over here.
Yeah, it'll like the spot. I just got to make sure it doesn't fall over.
And in the meantime, you're just trimming some branches.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit of space.
I see.
I don't know if I was starting off, and I didn't know much about gardens, but I wanted shade. I don't think I'd plant any of these spruce trees. Not only do the spruce trees get pretty dead as they get bigger, closer to the bottom.
Yeah.
Look at these over here. Look at this one.
Yeah.
There's a spruce tree for you.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that because for me, even that one over there. See the dead part, way up to almost the top.
Yeah, I see that.
Like those trees are 30 years old. They were
Right.
babies, like a foot high when I got them out of the forest,
Yeah.
and now they're looking pretty shabby. I should tell you something else about the spruce trees too. If you look at this neighbor's garden here, and the reason it looks like that is because nobody lives there. But if you can zoom in on those sort of tall green plants there by the fence, they're starting to creep out with the dandelions, but they're tall, but a good 2 feet high, and they got little flowers on the top. Those are called garlic mustard. Garlic mustard. They start off, about an inch high, and then the next year they're a foot high, and the next year they're that high, and they spread, and a lot of people pull them up. They're easy to pull up, but here's the deal. They release a chemical in the roots of the garlic mustard that kills the roots of the spruce trees.
Huh, interesting.
So maybe I had garlic mustard over here at one time, and that's the reason why the spruce trees look like they look.
Yeah.
But that
Maybe.
Yard over there is a pretty disastrous looking place, and somebody needs to buy the property because no one lives there and fix it up, and I would be very happy. But they got a lot of garlic mustard all the way along the fence.
Yeah, sprouting up there.
Turning into a garlic mustard forest. Garlic mustard. That's
Yeah.
the name of the weed. Watch out for it. And if you see it, pull it out.
So you can't use it as garlic or mustard.
No.
But and you're saying it's toxic to the spruce tree?
Yes, the roots. It kills the roots of the spruce trees.
And where would you have heard that from?
Well, I was down in my town walking on a trail down by the river, and there were a bunch of people who were part of a canoe club, and they were some Saturday afternoon not too long ago, they were out there pulling out these plants, and I stopped to ask them, and then they filled me in about the garlic mustard.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I guess keep up the good work.
Oh yeah, it's fun.